Good day and welcome to another episode of It's News to Me. I'm Claire Jacoby, and in today's episode, we've got the scoop on the top local and global happenings in the world today, including President Obama's plan to cut CO2 emissions and WGN's loss of Cubs broadcasting rights. Summer is here, but BHS never sleeps. In Batavia High School news, 2 high school teachers have been named exemplary educators through Can Do, Challenge Advocacy Network Development Organization. Can Do is staffed by volunteers who are parents of gifted and high-ability students. The organization provides educational opportunities for parents, students, and educators. Can Do recognizes that professional educators play a crucial role in providing challenging and creative approaches to learning for students. For Batavia, those educators recognized include Pamela Spencer, who teaches French, and William Sindewald, who teaches physics. Congratulations to all of this year's educators who've been recognized by Can Do. In other Batavia High School related news, a new app, Batavia School Supporter, has been released to help raise funds for athletic field improvements. The app is free and is available in both the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store for iPhone and Android users, respectively. The app provides coupons for users, which are available to be used at local businesses whose owners have subscribed to advertise on the app. 50% of the revenue generated from these business owners is directed back to the Batavia Boosters. Let's head over to some of our local high school students for first-hand accounts from some of this school year's highlights.
To achieve state, athletes they need to be in the proper mindset. We shift gears from week to week. So if we look back, last week was our conference meet, and we tell the athletes conference week is about sacrifice and about team. And then we look ahead to this week, where the sectionals to qualify to state, and now we place the emphasis more on the individual and on the relays that have a shot to qualify.
I think it will take, to accomplish state, is a lot of mindset of just being prepared for anything and running my heart out and just like knowing that anything can happen, but still having that aggressive mindset to achieve what I want.
I ran with John Schweigert, he currently holds the state record for 300 hurdles, of all time. And I trained with him over the summer. I coached a hurdle camp. I ran a camp with Coach D. I ran with Jaw almost every day, and then off-season training during the school year, and then indoor season, and now outdoor season. So it's been a lot of preparation and a lot of practice.
We've prepared to go to state by each week we run between 20 and 30 miles. We do really hard workouts, interval workouts. We dedicate a lot of our time and effort into not only running but also the other aspects of running and maintaining our health by icing, rolling out, stretching, doing strides. We do it so that we're ready for our important races of the year.
There's 2 ways to look at it. You can prove that you've accomplished, let's say, running a state standard earlier in this season. But because we only have 1 shot at qualifying, you have to prove yourself maybe twice. So we're knocking on the door, we're right there. And I think once they see all this come together at the sectional meet, like I said, they've already proven themselves, but this just solidifies just how great they've been all season long.
Within the next week, I plan to do well.
We plan in the future to go to state again this year.
My events that I plan on qualifying in are the 100 and 200.
I think the musical is probably going to be something Disney related, like Mary Poppins or Sound of Music, something along those lines. Just a big name, but not super popular right now.
It's going to be the Book of Mormon.
Wicked.
Amazing Spider-Man.
A Phantom of the Opera.
Evan Costello meet Frankenstein.
I don't know. I don't know this stuff.
What about the musical?
I don't know that stuff either.
So my favorite part of the year was when I was playing football because it was exhilarating.
My favorite part of the year was down to senior day because it was really fun.
My favorite part of the year would probably be the pep rally. Happens. It's just something fun to do and see everyone like cheering on and having a good time.
The year was gym class. I enjoyed late starts because I got to finish my homework a lot.
This summer I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time in Florida because my girlfriend's moving to Florida, so I'll probably be traveling a decent amount. Like the first half of summer she's going to be staying at my house. And then like around the second half of summer, I'm probably gonna be staying at her new house down in Florida. So that's pretty much my whole summer.
Well, I'm doing a show, Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah, and then my parents are probably gonna make me apply for a job. And then probably just chillax with my friends, going to a ton of graduation parties. Buying Lego Movie on DVD, because it just came out on DVD.
Well, I'm going to be working a lot over the summer, honestly, Joe, if you really are wondering about knowing. And I'm also going to be going to multiple concerts, including the Dave Matthews Band show at Northerly Island on July 3rd and July 2nd. I'm also going to be enjoying my a lovely time at the Taste of Chicago, as we have made plans, and at Blues Fest, which is June 16th, if I recall the date properly. Many beautifully talented artists are going to be at Blues Fest, and I just want to invite anybody. It's free admission, and I really do hope you come along.
Well, I really wanna, you know, boost up my character to level 7 Warlock, and also get a few rounds of Frolfin. I really wanted to take up a pottery class to make some unique sculptures for my vases, and also, the sandcastle competition, I'm getting really fierce for it. I've been training a lot, and I'm really hoping it's just gonna go well.
In world news, information on a prisoner swap for an American soldier in Afghanistan has been released. At 5:12 p.m. Saturday, the U.S. Embassy in Doha, Qatar, received a call stating that Army Sergeant Bo Bergdahl, who had been held captive by the Taliban for 5 years, has been freed and was on a Delta Force helicopter heading toward a U.S. base north of Kabul. When captured, Bergdahl had apparently left his post. He was wandering Paktika province in Afghanistan when the Taliban had captured him in 2009. The negotiation for Bergdahl's release called for his exchange for 5 top Taliban officials and has been raised questions about the justification for such a trade-off, including whether or not the trade will set a precedent for future negotiations. The Obama administration has proposed new rules to cut carbon emissions in an effort to combat global warming. These rules will be put into effect by the EPA under the name Clean Power Plan. Under the Clean Power Plan, the EPA hopes to cut carbon emissions by 30% by the year 2030 as compared to 2005's carbon emissions. The plan will most notably target coal-burning facilities as they produce 1,800 pounds of CO2 per megawatt hour, about twice as much as natural gas, which is the second largest producer of energy. Representatives of several coal-producing states argue that the Clean Power Plan will cut over 200,000 jobs and have detrimental effects on the nation's economy overall, as coal-burning facilities will effectively be shut down, and in turn, the demand for coal will decrease. However, the EPA Administrator, Gina McCarthy, claims that climate inaction is costing us more money in more places, more often. She argues that these new emission rules will not harm the coal-producing regions of the country, and the EPA even estimates an 8% decrease in electricity bills by increasing energy efficiency and reducing demand on the electricity system. McCarthy states, "We have never, nor will we ever, have to choose between a healthy economy and a healthy environment." In other news, 2 12-year-old Wisconsin girls are being charged as adults with attempted first-degree intentional homicide after being accused of stabbing another 12-year-old girl 19 times on Saturday. A passing bicyclist noticed the bleeding victim and made the call to 911, saving her life. The victim has been moved to fair condition and is continuing to recover. The 2 accused believe that they would meet a fictional internet character named Slender Man by committing a murder. Slender Man is an internet meme who's often depicted in online horror stories known as creepypastas. These stories are often user-generated and perpetuated on social networking sites. One of the girls stated that many people do not believe Slender Man is real, and she wanted to prove the skeptics wrong. The 2 girls have been noted as not having a history of disciplinary issues in school, so the stabbing came as a shock to school officials. Let's head over to Bill McGrath with the Municipal Minute.
Hi, I'm Bill McGrath, the City Administrator, and this is the Tuesday, June 3rd segment of the Municipal Minute, which is part of It's News to Me. I have several things to tell you about today. One is that if you intend on having overnight guests during the summer or actually any time, and you don't have enough room in your driveway, a simple call to the police department at its non-emergency number will let you have permission to have your guests keep their cars overnight. We prefer that that not happen for more than 2 or 3 nights at a time. But the main thing is that we are able to identify strange cars out on the streets. This has to be done by permission, except for a few areas in town where there is virtually no driveway space for cars. So again, you can just call the non-emergency number of the police department, be prepared to give them a description of the car, and everything will be just fine. There's a lot of activity happening in the downtown. Aliano's restaurant is going to be expanding its kitchen, adding a space, separate space for takeout and catering. The Range, formerly known as the Open Range, is talking to us about putting a patio out in front, and they've already put in some glass garage doors that connect the restaurant onto its screen porch. It's very interesting. River's Edge Bar and Grill is where the former O'Brien's pub was. They're doing a lot of work in their rear garden, and so I think that'll be very interesting once it is completed, and I've heard that they're doing a lot of interior work as well. And lastly, Gaetano's has been working and should be opening up in I think the next month or so. That's at the corner of Wilson Street and River Street. Then a host of our other restaurants have moved to the outdoors. Among those are Old Solomio, Wilson Street Tavern on Wilson Street, Swordfish out on Randall Road, Pepe's on Wilson Street, El Taco Grande, Pal Joey's. They all have a really good business in their outside patios and some beautiful scenery for you to watch as you're eating, so please take advantage of them. At the City Council meeting on June 2nd, the City Council approved entering into an incentive agreement to maintain the Suncast Corporation's manufacturing site here in Batavia. Suncast Corporation is one of the largest national manufacturers of hose reels and other plastic garage sheds, storage sheds, and items like that. They employ over 1,200 people, and they're in the midst of undergoing an expansion, which includes literally raising the roof or taking the roof off so they can put in some new manufacturing machinery. Because this company is so important to us and they account for about 12% of the usage of our electricity, it was very important for us to keep them here in the state of Illinois. They have been wooed, as many other corporations are, by locations in other states, and we thought it was important enough to enter into an incentive agreement with them. Luckily for us, we've been the beneficiary of some transportation grant funding from the state of Illinois, and generally other funds, that is general fund money, is used to supplement our motor fuel taxes to pay for all our street construction. Because we've received these grants, and these grants will be ongoing over the next 5 or 6 years, we are able to free some of the general funds, and it is those funds that will be used as an incentive for Suncast to remain here. So the incentive itself will not be paid from existing ratepayers. Additionally, there are some other incentives that relate to increased electric usage. So the current electricity that they use will not be, it will still be paid for and will again not impact the rate base. It is very important to understand that if Suncast were to leave Illinois, there would be a huge impact on the rates of everybody in the city. So we're pleased to do that. We're in conversation with Suncast, and during this expansion, if there's a need for additional employment, then certainly Batavians will be looked at as a key portion of that if people are qualified enough. I did want to talk for just briefly about the Prairie State, which of course is the the source of the electric power for Batavia. Batavia, along with Geneva and Rochelle, belong to a group called NIMPA. We formed that group when the Prairie State project was being built in the period following 2004 and 2005. There's been a lot of discussion about that project. There were cost overruns in connection with the construction of that. Everybody, I hope they can understand that a $3.9 billion project can have cost overruns, and this project did have cost overruns, so the total was about $4.5 billion. The result of that has been that the amount of money that Batavia pays for its power has gone up. The other reason why the amount of money that Batavia pays has gone up is that this project was conceived of and put into operation at the height of the growth occurring in the early and mid-2000s, and our projections for electric use were much hardier than it turned out to be, as it's turned out to be in the entire country. Because of that, we have bought more power than we use, and we sell some power into the market every day at a loss. So this is the result of, or the result of that has been the recent increase in our electric rates. I just wanted you to know that the city staff and the city council work on this project almost every day, are looking for ways by which we can get rid of some of this extra power, trying to bring in other companies, manufacturing companies into Batavia, sometimes with incentives, so at least the power which we might have to sell into the market, which we would otherwise have to sell into the market at a loss, can be used for Batavia companies. Additionally, these companies all pay municipal utility taxes on their electric use, so there is still other benefits to the entire community in terms of the need for property tax increases. This is very important to us. We're working with our partners, Rochelle and Geneva, and with the larger partners to get this project working very smoothly and for the long-term benefit of the citizens. There's been some talk from time to time that there are improprieties related to this project, and frankly the word fraud has been used. I can tell you as Chief Operating Officer of the city, and having worked with the staff in charge of this project and seen virtually every document, that at this point in time we have absolutely no knowledge or indication that there was anything improper about this project. The main reason why our electric costs are so much at this time is because of two things. That is the expense of building the plant, and secondly, the amount of power that we contracted for, which after the economy went into the pit, turned out to be more than we should have. And that, coupled with the price of wholesale electricity nationwide, puts real pressure on the city of Batavia. But in terms of improprieties, we have seen nothing. We have been asked for information, which we have cooperated with to the full extent that we can. We are, I think anybody will tell you who's interested in the issue, that the city of Batavia has been most transparent than many other parties to the whole project in terms of delivering information, meeting with people, meeting with attorneys who seem to have an interest in the entire project, and we remain open and more than willing to talk to any of our citizens about this issue. And we will continue to work on trying to get our electric rates to a reasonable level where it's not such a burden on our residents, our commercial residents, our commercial businesses, and our industrial customers. As you can see, already electric prices are going up outside of the city. So unfortunately, we may see that although our prices do not come down significantly, they may be at a level that's very similar to what is found outside of the city. We'll continue to report on this. The City Council has been kept informed as to anything developing on this as it goes. We met with our state representatives, Tim Schmitz and Mike Fortner, as recently as Monday morning to discuss the matter and see if there's some legislative help that could assist us, and we'll continue to do so. You can always call my office or Gary Holm, the head of the Department of Public Works, if you'd like to talk more about that project. On a lighter note, it's brush collection time. The next time for East Side brush collection is Monday, June 9th. You must have your brush out in front of your house because the collection goes by very quickly. If your brush has not been picked up by Friday of that week, you need to call the Public Works Department the very next Monday, or it'll have to wait until the next month. And at that point, you may even be asked to bring it back to the side of your house or the back of your house so we don't have damage to the parkways and it's not so unsightly for your neighbors. So that's Monday, June 9th for the East Side, followed by Monday, July 14th, the following brush collection. The West Side, the next collection will be on Monday, June 16th, followed by Monday, July 21st. So we ask for your cooperation. And please remember, there's a new rule this year. The limitation is that no brush or logs in excess of 6 inches of diameter can be put out. And that includes taking larger logs and splitting them. We will not take any piece that's a portion of a larger log. And this restriction allows us to get those services at a cheaper cost and keep the brush fee as low as possible for all of our residents. As I came here today, the weather is great. There doesn't seem to be any rain in the near forecast. And so our contractor is trying to put in the crosswalks, the decorative crosswalks on Wilson Street. You'll see that occurring over the next several days, weather permitting. Some of the activities will occur at night, particularly when they're crossing Wilson Street or crossing Route 31. So we ask for your patience. They're going to try and avoid working during the rush time, and I think it'll be good. The landscaping is largely complete on Wilson Street and River Street. We did have a glitch with our hanging baskets. They will be in by this weekend, and I think you'll see that Wilson Street and River Street are turning out to be absolutely beautiful. Lastly, I wanted to thank the Harris Bank of Batavia. One of the goals of the Wilson Street project was to make the downtown friendlier for people who are walking by themselves, walking with their children, pushing a stroller, riding a bicycle with smaller children. And one of the strategies was to try to either eliminate driveways, narrow driveways, where there were several driveways, try to space them farther apart. And we've had a lot of cooperation from the Harris Bank, which actually allowed us to totally eliminate one of its driveways and put a large landscaping bed in its place, which will, although the city planted that landscaping bed, will be maintained in the future by the Harris Bank. And if you please pass the bank, you'll notice that large landscape area. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous, and I'd like to give some appreciation to the bank for cooperating with us. Also McDonald's, because in the design of their new facility, they agreed to move their in and out driveways much farther apart. It just makes it a lot easier for cars, but more importantly, pedestrians to maneuver on that side of Wilson Street. So that's all I have for this week's Minute, much more than a minute. Please watch next week to see what's happening in the city. And again, if you ever have any questions about what's going on in your city, please call City Hall at 630-454-2000, and the receptionist can pass you to the correct person to help you. Thanks very much.
In local news, the Cubs strike out in an attempt to negotiate an increase in pay for WGN to own the rights to broadcast the games over the radio. Instead, the Cubs will now be under CBS, along with the Bears and the White Sox. WGN and the Cubs are still negotiating a new contract. However, WGN is more concerned with airing original content on television to boost station ratings. A broadcast rights agreement has been established with the Blackhawks for another 5 seasons, so the Cubs' previous lackluster seasons and decreasing interest in broadcasting Chicago-based sports have been detrimental to negotiations overall. There's a recall released by the Kane County Health Department for Glutino Rosemary and Olive Oil Snack Crackers and Baptista's Live G-Free, Gluten-Free Rosemary and Olive Oil Multi-Seed Crackers. Products with Best Buy dates of October 26, 2014 and November 24, 2014 are being recalled due to a possible salmonella contamination and should be returned to their businesses of purchase for a full refund. Police are looking for information regarding a bank robbery in Aurora that occurred at 10:35 Monday morning at the TCF Bank branch inside a Jewel Osco at 1952 West Galena Boulevard. The suspect is described as a white woman in her 20s. She is between 5'1" and 5'4", with short, possibly blonde hair and a slim build. Authorities say she had tattoos on her face and was wearing a baggy white tank top and red shorts. Anyone with information regarding the incident or suspects should call the FBI at 312-421-6700 or the Aurora Police at 630-256-5500. 7 Aurora police officers have been honored after rescuing a 14-year-old Batavia girl from drowning following a crash on March 9, 2013. The officers came to the girl's rescue after the vehicle she was in crashed into a retention pond at I-88 and Deal Road. When the police arrived, they had found the car upside down and submerged in mostly frozen pond. The driver of the vehicle did not survive. However, the mother of the teen and another 14-year-old girl were able to escape from the vehicle and suffered only minor injuries. Barrington School urges parents to ensure that their kids aren't taking part in a potentially deadly game after 2 boys, ages 7 and 8, were caught hanging themselves from hooks in restroom stalls, attempting to achieve a lightheaded thrill. In response, every hook has been removed from the bathroom stalls, as well as every hook in the stalls of every school within the district. Come down to Geneva this June to see the Viking, a 78-foot-long replica Viking warship. The ship will be able to be viewed on June 15th, 21st, and 22nd at Good Templar Park, 528 East Side Drive in Geneva. For more information, please call 630-753-9412, email viking1893@gmail.com, or visit vikingship.us for more information. And now over to Brittany Bogue with the Park Bench.
Hi, I'm Brittany Bogue, Marketing and Sponsorship Coordinator at the Batavia Park District. Join us at our first summer concert this year on Wednesday, June 18th at the Peg Bond Center stage. This first concert will feature Piano Man, who is Mike Sigmund and brings the music of Elton John and Billy Joel to life in the show that pays them the ultimate tribute. With a hand-picked lineup of some of the most versatile musicians in the tri-state area and his uncanny ability to mimic the voices of these 2 mega superstars, Mike has created one of the most solid and authentic tribute bands in the country. Refreshments will be available, and we hope to see you there. Windmill City Festival is just around the corner. Join us this year from July 10th through the 13th on the Batavia Riverwalk. Sign up today for Windmill Whirl 5K Race. Register at www.windmillcityfest.org. This year, the race will be held on Friday, July 11th at 7 p.m. The first 100 participants are guaranteed a goodie bag and a t-shirt. Also, bring your furry or not-so-furry friends to our unique pet parade on Saturday, July 12th at 10 a.m. The first 50 registered participants will receive a complimentary doggy bag to take home. For a list of all events, look in our summer brochure or call us at 630-879-5235. Thanks!
North Aurora is considering changing zoning codes in order to build a medical marijuana dispensary to generate new sales tax revenue for the village. One of the major issues of bringing a medical marijuana dispensary to Aurora is concerned with an increase in drug-related crimes. When looking at states where marijuana use is completely legal, no significant increase in crime has been noted. Village trustee Chris Faber states that revenue for the village will only be generated from standard sales tax receipts and that the dispensary should be regulated as would a traditional pharmacy. A Batavia priest was charged with public indecency after having exposed himself at a gas station on March 27th. Reverend Aaron R. Brodesky was arrested and charged. Bishop David Malloy clarified that the incident in no way involved minors, parish funds, or anything pertaining to Holy Cross Parish or school. The Batavia Fireworks Committee is holding a Keep It Sparkling Fireworks fundraiser on June 12th at K. Hollis Jewelers in Batavia. The committee has several fun activities planned for the event, and the proceeds will go towards funding the July 4th Sky Concert. We want you to help make the Sky Concert possible. This has been another episode of It's News to Me. As always, our programming is also available on the web at mybatv.com. Be sure to check us out on Facebook to stay connected with our current updates. Thanks for watching. I'm Claire Jacoby, and that's News to Me.
Hey, that's news to me.